Bonnie looked a lot like Juanita Martin, whom I had last seen in Macun 4 years earlier. We decided where the invisible Christmas tree would be, and we sat on the floor and pretended we were taking decorations out of boxes and hanging them on the branches. My family had never had a Christmas tree, but I remembered how once I had helped Pappy wind colored lights around the eggplant bush that divided our land from Donna Anna's. We started at the bottom and wound the wire with tiny red bulbs around and around until we ran out. Then Pappy plugged another cord to it, and we kept going until the branches hung heavy with lights and the bush looked like it was on fire. Before long, I had forgotten where I was, and that the tree didn't exist, and Bonnie was not my sister. She pretended to hand me a very delicate ball, and just before I took it, she made like it fell to the ground and shattered. I was petrified that Mammy would come in and yell at us for breaking her favorite decoration. Just as I began to pick up the tiny fragments of non-existent crystal, a voice broke in. "Thank you." Bonnie got up, smiled, and went out. The elegant woman stretched her hand out for me to shake. "We will notify your school in a few weeks. It was very nice to meet you." I shook hands all around, then backed out of the room in a fog, silent, as if the pantomime had taken my voice and the urge to speak. On the way home, Mammy kept asking what had happened, and I kept mumbling, "Nothing. Nothing happened." Ashamed that after all the hours of practice with Mrs. Johnson, Mr. Barone, and Mr. Gaddy, after the expense of new clothes and shoes, after Mammy had to take the day off work to take me into Manhattan, after all that, I had failed the audition and would never, ever get out of Brooklyn. What happened next? Esmeralda Santiago was accepted to the High School of Performing Arts despite her worst fears. In the epilogue of When I Was Puerto Rican, it is 13 years later, and Santiago returned to visit performing arts while on a break from Harvard University. One of her favorite teachers who attended her audition told her how funny it had been to see a 14-year-old Puerto Rican girl jabbering out a monologue about a possessive mother-in-law at the turn of the century. The words incomprehensible because they went by so fast. She also tells Esmeralda, "We admired the courage it took to stand in front of us and do what you did." Just a little background on the High School of Performing Arts. In 1980, New York City's High School Performing Arts became the subject of the Academy Award-winning movie Fame. The movie, starring Irene Cara as Coco, Lee Carrere as Bruno, Barry Miller as Rawl, and Paul McCrane as Montgomery, Dr. Romano on ER, chronicled the lives of students at the school from audition to graduation. The movie spawned a hit TV series that ran from 1982 to 1987. The school is now known as the Fiorello H. LaGuardia High School of Music and Art and the Performing Arts. It is located in New York City. For more information about the school, which provides high school students with professional training in the areas of art, drama, dance, and music, visit www.laguardiahighschool.com. And here are just a few of the famous alumni who have graduated from the same school Esmeralda Santiago graduated from. Jennifer Aniston from Friends, Marlon Wayans, Ron Eldard, Susan Vega, and Adrian Brody.